Hello, welcome to my channel, VibeCoding Like a Champ. My name is Paul Pinto, and after holidays, we're back again. I did already one video about it, but then I could not do the next one. I'm going to start to come back to the normal schedule, kind of 2-3 videos a week about this topic. And today, I would like to, before we start going, let me just say that this is my channel. Please, if you like the content that I'm doing, please subscribe, make like to the videos, put a like in the videos, and subscribe the channel. And here is my LinkedIn channel that I posted all my videos in my professional network. If you are a company or a person that would like to know more about how to use these techniques of vibe coding that I'm using in this application, this fitness application that I'm developing to experiment using the vibe coding, please contact me and maybe I can help you. What we're going to talk today is something very interesting. Last video, the first after the holidays, was I talked about how we can create make quality on the or establish quality when we create a story. If all the tasks are there, if we needed everything that we needed is there, and so on. And the first run that I was not the first, but this one, when we run through the tasks and see if everything that we needed is there, all the scripts are there, and so on. This is the result that I had. The first time it was rejected, there was a lot of gaps, and we need to go through all of that. And I asked the code to ask me all the questions that he needed to, based on this. I answered all the questions, and he added to my feature description, even to my tasks file. And then I was able to after that run again to start implementation, and then we can see the pre-validation. Here is the pre-validation, and let's open this pre-validation. Need to close it and open from here again. The pre-validation. We're going to see everything that, according with all the rules that I created, everything that I want to make sure that is there. You're going to pass. It's everything is aligned with the codes, aligned with the the information that I have. In this case, this is an API part of the application, the API, the minimal API. It's basically no if let's see here examples. If I already have all the tests, already up front the tests and so on. What is the algorithm that I want to build? It's well explained. There is no gaps. There's no holes in anything, and everything that was request to verify on the task, verify, and the final decision approved. Then I have a second validation. I call it the pre-validation and the post-validation. And the post-validation is a little bit different. The first one is about the content of the tasks. If everything that is there is everything that I need. For example, if I am defining there what are the fields that I want to put it in the database for these, what are the new, how is going to be the structure of the new objects that we're going to save on the database. I don't need to be in C# code. I can have it simply in JSON, but at least have some kind of a representation of what I want, and don't leave space for the LLM, in this case Claude, to imagine things and create his own things and be too much creative. Because in our business we like the creativity, yes, but we don't want too much creativity. Okay, we want a little bit of creativity, and we're not too much. And the good thing that we have it with these LLMs is that they are very good with words. They are really very good with words, and we can just put words in front of him and say, can you summary this? Can you make more detail? Can you help me with detailing this? Can you make me questions for you to detail this better? We can, this is the part of the part of the development that is very important to establish the full documentation of what we want to implement. And then when we go to the implementation, there's not that much hallucination, let's put it this way, for part of the LLM, because you have just to follow those lines, all the checklists and so on. And this second part is more about, now that we have it there, we want to know what we're going to do. Everything is planned, all the tasks are planned properly. Then now we're going to be able to add the information about what is the time that we should take it on this. We need to know the estimation time. I was trying to remember putting here the estimation time, for example, if all the phases are in the right order that we want, what are the mitigations, and we're going to be able to if everything goes well, we're going to be able to start the implementation. This is what happened. I didn't show you this, but this is what happened behind the when I run, then after that when I start implementation, then when I start implementation itself, let's start it here on the top. He didn't check, but now my tasks file is way more complete with everything that I want. And then later here we already have here some minimal tests that will be used later in our BDD, in our spec flow file, and then here all the scenarios of tests that we already have, and then we have here the task that we want to implement, and then there's the point that we're going to check to reach the checkpoint, and this is everything. This is all very important, and you're going to be able to make a summary out of it, and we're going to be able to get the commit, what was done, and so on, so on, so on, and this goes further in everything that we want, all the deliveries that was done, everything. Now I have a task file way more complete that I had it before, and with that our development went much better in many ways. Now, then when we reach the end of the implementation, there's a lot of code here. Of course, now this is the tasks regarding the code itself that we want to do. There's already a lot of code, how we want to create things and so on. And examples of code, of course, based on the code standards that we have. And later, let me just getting here to the end. I think we are on the 7 phases. And we have here our Boy Scout rules, and this is still, we have the test count, building warnings, we have what we implemented, but before that we have it here, I think it's down a little bit more, that will be the final review here. Then in the end, I create a new agent that will do the final review. During all this process, every time that we do a checkpoint, we do the commit of that work also. And then I created a new agent that's going to run in the end that will fill up the final review, code review. I know that we already had this before, but this now is different. What this guy does is read this task file, go try to get all the commits that it was done with this file, and try to go to be much in detail if everything that he did, everything that is done, it's according with the code rules. Because during the implementation, sometimes the rules are a little bit bent, a little bit low, and maybe something didn't went the way that it's supposed to go. And then I already have it here, my code review, and I'm going to show you precisely how this code review went. And he's going to get all the commits. You see, we're going to get all the commits from the areas. You're going to tell me what he found on those commits. For example, you're going to find that here I'm using exception. I'm trying to use it with a null object pattern. It means no nulls in our application. Every time that something can return a null, you'll create some kind of empty object. And this is the object that you're going to be carrying, and there will be validation over this object, that's checking if it is empty, if it cannot continue. But we're not going to have is nulls. Even this object, if we try to do anything with this option, it's not going to do anything because it doesn't have the fields. But it's much better to check with empty than check with null, because we are always going to have problems with nulls. And we have it here an example that it throws an exception, and it says how we should handle according with the code standards. It even say solution from the code quality standards. This is the proper solution. We're going to have it in these other commits that the approval route is around 99% because there's some missing as no tracking. And this is very, very good. This is again what LLMs can really shine in our development. This kind of code reviewing is preparing the tasks that we needed. Even if we go to code it, even if we going to code it for ourselves, is much better than we ask our information up front. We ask our information that we need, everything that we needed for asking for our requirement engineers, our product owner. We ask all these all these questions and have all the information that we need. We implement it, and then in the end we can ask LLM, come on, now according with all these rules, please review everything according and be very strict review. It's way more strict than any eyes of a person, but in the end, eyes of a person can be used also to make the review. And I'm very happy that what he found it. I think let's go here to the bottom. He found several things, several solutions, but he said that there's some golden rules because I have rules with there's some golden rules and the other rules minor issues. There's some golden rules violations, and he said how can we fix it, and what is the approval status. He said that the approval, if it is over 19%, it's approved, but there's no critical violations. This conditional between 80 and 90% is there are some minor violations and should be taken care, or need revision is below 80% of the revision is quite low, and then need to fix this violation. This is our final assessment, and even tell me what is the time estimation for those changes. And this is what I found very interesting. This is a huge help for any developer when we finish our task and we want to give it to someone to review. If we have an LLM, in this case Cloud, to review our code according with standard that the company of our client is make sure has to ensure the quality, it's great. We don't need to submit and then someone say, oh, you miss it here, something that is very easy, and you just miss it just because there's a lot of missing things. This is what I found that is going to be very important and very interesting for LLMs to help the development. It's not just writing code, but to prepare everything and then review it everything after that. I have it also start to implement this is how we do this review, and now I'm start to I don't have it, not here, sorry, it is missing here, and now I have it here, my UI, my admin. Now I already start to do, I have it already, the pre-validation was rejected. I'm using the same process also in the UI, and later I'm going to have the same validation, everything in the clients when we do for the Avalon application for the clients for the mobile. This is what I would like to talk to you about, what I've been doing in the last weeks, and I will try to go with the flow and show you every step here. I hope that you like this, and I hope that this will be very helpful for you, of at least having this kind of mindset. What can we do with LLMs? And we see you in the next video. Bye bye.